Let's talk about Casetext and is it really worth it? So when you hear the term Casetext, I want you to think about online legal research. And into this conversation, I want to do a review. I want to give you the ins and outs and tell you whether or not this platform is really worth it. So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So when you think about Casetext, I want you to think about a robust online legal research tool that uses artificial intelligence, Kara, to assist with brief review and informed search results to help lawyers enhance their research process. So Casetext is there to kind of help lawyers enhance their research process. And as you know that if you're a lawyer, you know that the research process can be very tedious and sometimes very complicated. So having a tool such as Casetext can really help. And the cool thing about Casetext here is that you have basically a single tier for all, like you have a single source for all the resources around statutes, for instance, regulations, and case law in the federal courts in all 50 states. So this is really good. So what we love about Casetext, we love the comprehensiveness and the granularity that it really offers. And basically, Casetext leverages its Kara tool to help find the most relevant cases for your specific fact pattern. Additionally, it adds an extra orange flag to indicate when a case is still good law but relies on an overall opinion. So you always have what we call contextual justification. You have a contextual explanation of the result that Casetext is really sending your way. So one thing we love about Casetext also is that you have all kinds of integrations to third-party applications. This is really good. You have citation check. The price is affordable. I'll speak about the price later on. And there are a few things that we believe could be improved. You have limited secondary sources. No open API as of right now. This is something that they really need to work on. And there are no public records that you can actually access. So this is a bummer in our view, because if you are working on a very complicated, multifaceted case, you will love to have access to public records. But in terms of apps, you have a web application. In terms of software integrations, you have Clio, you have Filevine, you have Docketbird, and you have Hire and Esquire. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Let's talk about the features that you can expect to have in Casetext. Again, for online legal research, the following are essential features that you really should expect, and Casetext luckily has them. First of all, you have artificial intelligence, okay? So basically, if you're looking at an AI legal assistant such as Casetext, you are able to you can use the tool to identify relevant cases and statutes, and may even help you draft your brief, okay? Now, there is no free trial as of now for Casetext. They want you to really come on board and basically try the tool. And you also can you can also use Casetext for natural language search. In other words, you can search by entering a question in normal language rather than keywords or Boolean connectors and phrases. This is really cool. And what we love about Casetext also is that you can perform Boolean search. In other words, you have Boolean operators like and, or, and more. You can precisely target your search query. This is important because there are some cases throughout the country where counsel or where courts are paying attention to connectors such as and or. And if you are in such a case, being able to perform this Boolean search can be very, very quite essential. Okay. And also, what we love about Casetext is that you have citation checking. So this is kind of cool because again, you're literally reducing the workload of legal assistants, of lawyers, of court administrators, and every stakeholder that is involved in the judicial process. Okay. So when we talk about citation checking, basically a citation checker helps you identify whether a case or a statute has been overruled, modified, or reversed or repealed. And Casetext gives you the strong legal foundation or the strong judicial foundation to actually move your case forward. So this is kind of cool. So you do have citation checking within Casetext. One thing I want to say here is that it all depends on the context, though. That's what we call contextual justification. And really, so using citation checking or Boolean search to actually advance your case has to deal with the merits of the case itself. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Casetext. So this is a Casetext review. Another thing you will love within Casetext is that you have filter search. In other words, you basically can you can restrict your search to certain parts or features of cases and statutes like the date, judge, or jurisdiction. Again, this is important if you have a very complicated or quote unquote complicated, because there's no such a thing as a complicated, I would say, complicated case. But what I want to say here is that when you have a multifaceted case and you really need to have multiple variables, it's really important to kind of have this filter search. And Casetext has a very complex and very advanced, very sophisticated filter search capability. You also have a research history within Casetext. In other words, you are able to find the results of previous searches or see if the law has changed with no results. This is kind of important if you are actually working on a case right now. And let's say the case actually covers many states and many jurisdictions. So you really want to pay attention to geography and history. So research history, that feature can really help you out. This is really fantastic. You also have research folders within Casetext where you can organize your research history into folders. You also have PDF Word downloads. In other words, you can download cases and statutes as a formatted PDF or a Word document. This is kind of important, especially if you are let's say you are exchanging data with the clients, and the client, the client doesn't have the particular app that you have installed on your computer. At least when you have PDF and Word, most people have PDF and Word installed on their computer or part of like on their mobile. Okay. You also have suggestions. It's a very great feature within Casetext. In other words, when you run a search, you get suggestions for additional searches to run or material you should look at. So Casetext does a great job at that. And also you have alerts, so you can flag key cases so that you get an email notification if it is cited in a new case, statute, or secondary source. So this is kind of cool. So what we love about Casetext is that you do have this capability. And also I have to mention, you have open API. So basically, if Casetext doesn't really integrate with the third-party app, you always have this, you can go through this API conduit to actually integrate that third-party app into Casetext, or you can use Zapier to make it happen. Let's talk about the value added. So the thing is that when you think about Casetext, you have a constellation of opportunities to use this tool. Okay, so Casetext is really a web-based tool that can be used by any lawyer, any legal assistant, any court administrator from any modern browser. Okay, we're talking here about Mozilla, talking here about Microsoft Edge. We're talking here about Chrome, and we're talking here about so we're talking about a modern browser. Okay, and so Casetext actually has 3 tiers of pricing. I'll speak about pricing later on. But they have the starter, the advantage, and the pro. Just make sure that you start, because they don't have a free trial, right? So it's just better to start with the starter, so to see really if you're comfortable with the software. And so Casetext does not integrate with your law practice management software. So basically, you need to actually have this integration through a third party, like I said, or through API. And so they don't have also an MS Word plugin right now. It's one of those things where you have to really see what really works for you. Again, go through Zapier to make it happen. But what we love about Casetext is that in terms of value added, Casetext adds a lot of value because it allows, like, first of all, it covers a large body of judicial literature. So we're talking here about what? Federal case law. We're talking about state case law. We're talking about federal and state statutes and much more. So again, in terms of granularity, in terms of constellation of judicial pieces, you are served. Okay, and it does have an artificial intelligence tool called Kara. So it's the Case Analysis Research Assistant. So this can help you analyze. It can help analyze this information as well, the case law. And case law also has some secondary sources, but the thing here is that it can be somewhat limited. And the thing is that if this is important for you, it's just better to contact the company directly, so you have a clear idea what's really available. Okay, but long story short, when you think about Casetext, I want you to think about a reliable online legal research database that millions of lawyers, millions of legal assistants, millions of court administrators use in the country. Okay, I mean, it's one of those things where you have to really try it first. Okay, and there is no sort of steep learning curve. It's very easy to get used to. Well, so I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Casetext. So this is a Casetext review, and so Casetext really does online legal research. So we are reviewing this tool to see if it's worth it. Let's talk about the competitive edge here. So when you think about Casetext, what is a competitive edge? First of all, we love the fact that you have case analysis, and we're talking about case analysis very deep, okay? And everything happens through Kara, and Kara is actually Casetext AI-backed legal research tool that helps discover relevant cases and briefs based on documents, complaints, briefs, and memos uploaded to Kara. And after uploading, Kara will analyze the brief and make all subsequent research more intelligent, instantly returning relevant cases there are on the same facts, legal issues, jurisdictions, and motion at issue. And this is kind of important because this quartet of elements, same facts, legal issues, jurisdictions, and motion at issue, are really important because they really can cut your workload by 50% or even 60% based on our research. Because the thing is that when you have to research multiple cases, the ability to filter, to narrow things down, to zero in on what really matters is of a quintessential value. Okay. And the cool thing is Kara will also surface relevant statutes, articles, and briefs filed by other attorneys on the same topic. So this removes, really, when you really think about it, doubt about missing something after spending countless hours on research. You also have Citator service. So Casetext Citator service, Smart Cite, is also informed by its AI assistant Kara. So like most other citators, it will indicate bad law, good law, and cases that may be problematic. Okay, I want to insist on that, may be problematic. However, Smart Cite will also indicate when cases rely on opinions that have been subsequently overruled. You also have secondary sources. So Casetext, unfortunately, does not have much in the way of secondary sources. So unlike LexisNexis or Westlaw, it is mainly a case law, statutes, and rules resource. So lawyers will not find much proprietary resources, treatises, or journal articles. And however, their website has great information on free and affordable secondary source tools. So in our view, for all intents and purposes, Casetext remains a great option for firms of all sizes who need to perform online legal research using primary sources. So specifically, those who are price conscious but need something more than Google Scholar will likely find the most benefit. And Casetext pricing is a single tier per user model that's easy to understand. Further, by using Kara, solo and small firms may be able to leverage limited resources to derive even more benefit than larger firms. Okay, this is kind of important. Let's talk about pricing here. I want you to look on the screen here. Here is the pricing for Casetext. So basically you have the basic research, you have Co-Counsel Core, and you have Co-Counsel All Access. So basically you have to really see what works for you. And the prices I'm showing you here, those are 1-year plans, okay? But you have the opportunity to actually sign up for the 3-year plan on the Co-Counsel Core. You can also go with the monthly plan, but it's always cheaper to go with the yearly plan. One thing I want to say here is that you always have the option to contact Casetext if you want to have some kind of bespoke pricing or some kind of personalized pricing for your law firm. And one thing I want to say here is that it's all about providing the right info to the Casetext rep so they can really quote you accordingly. Okay. But one thing I want to say here is that you have what they call like the pricing depends on the number of attorneys you want to have. So as you can see here, we have a trifecta, right? We have one attorney, $110, two attorneys. No, sorry. On the basic research plan, you have one attorney, $110. On the Co-Counsel Core plan, you have one attorney at $250. And the Co-Counsel All Access, you have one attorney at $400. Now the question is, which plans you need? It all depends on the kind of research you want to have. Okay. And the thing here is that when we talk about the the research, we're speaking about you being able to quickly search 50 states and federal cases, statutes, regulations, rules, okay, and you also being able to leverage the Kara tool to really sort of advance your research. It's one of those things where if you want to actually gain speed and accuracy, you might want to spend a little more. Okay, it also depends on the size of your firm right now. It's all about the number of attorneys also that you want to really enroll on Casetext. One thing I want to say here is that if you have any question, it's always better to contact Casetext, because maybe you're thinking right now, listen, I want to do I want to do a co-counsel, or do I want to do just one attorney? Like, which plan is right for me? Okay, and it's one of those things where you can either leave us a question in the comment section and our team members will get back to you, or you can just reach out to our Casetext directly and they'll answer your question. They're really fast too, though. Let me talk to you about the specs of Casetext before we close to this conversation. For us, for all intents and purposes, when we analyze Casetext, we think about a tool that allows you to fast track your legal research and deposition prep. Okay, and basically, the thing here is that you are able to. You just need to enter an issue and relevant information such as jurisdiction, and you get a complete answer with supporting sources in seconds. That's the speed that we really love, the fastness, if I can speak that way. So this is what I was just telling you. This provides judicial justification for everything you're doing, definitely, because your research is backed by solid facts, and you need that. You need those solid facts if you want to actually prevail against the opposing counsel. Okay, you want to you will be able to provide information about your deposition and get a thorough outline in no time through Casetext. And the cool thing here is that you are basically going as granular as possible. That's one thing we love. I mean, even though we still believe that Casetext can do better, because the level of granularity during document review right now is not really as much. It's not really as high. In other words, the data, the details, the level of details could be more granular than it is currently. Okay, but what we love is that you are able to, for instance, if you go through co-counsel, you are able to identify critical documents in contract databases and key information in discovery. And this increases precision and recall and basically lowers cost. Casetext also allows you to automate contract revisions. So this is kind of cool. So you can upload contracts and the policies they should comply with. And co-counsel identifies relevant clauses, conflicts, and risks, then recommends revisions. So we love that a lot. So when you think about co-counsel, think about an all-in-one product. Okay, that really allows you to combine, if you will, judicial expertise with AI technology to really increase your legal game. And what we love about this is that you're basically you are touching on cases, and you're touching on rulings, not only in terms of geography but also in terms of history. That's what we love a lot. We love this bi-dimensional sort of approach where we're talking about history and geography and also context, because context is an important element. But yeah, the bottom line is you're getting an all-in-one product that can really help you out, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are a legal research assistant, or you are a court administrator. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about Casetext. So this was a Casetext review. So I give you the overview, the features, the value added, the competitive edge, the pricing, the specs, and finally, I'm now doing the recap. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.